All right? Okay, they will use this mic. The first speaker is Bill Cunningham. You're second, Terry.
Oh, okay.
All right, Bill Cunningham is next. They'll tell you who they are, what they do, and the whole bit.
Hello, my name is Bill Cunningham, and my fiance and I are here with a booth called White Dove Healing Arts International.
Wait a minute, can't hear you. What's the matter? Can you hear back there? I see you're not hearing. Okay, get a little real close to the mic.
So anyway, my name is Bill Cunningham, and I'm representing my own company here called White Dove Healing Arts International. My fiance Patricia Weiss is here with me, and we are exhibiting and showing some of Dr. William Nelson's work. Dr. Bill Nelson is a PhD in homeopathy and also a practicing psychiatrist. And Bill invented, about 10 years ago, one of the most amazing electrodiagnostic devices in the world today. Besides that, it's the only FDA-registered medical device of its kind. And there's people in the audience here that have been tested on this device. Mike Ziegler is here from New York. He could talk to you about it. And we also are representing a full line of natural homeopathic pharmaceuticals, also formulated by Dr. Nelson. Now, the energetic device looks at over 5,000 aspects of your health within a very short period of time. It simply speaks to the body with its own electrical language. It prioritizes the data and comes up with an energy chart showing the major organ systems that need detoxification and rebuilding. And the way we do it is we ask the body's own energetic language to report in on which remedies it may need to detoxify and rebuild. So we have the computerized diagnostic system back there. We're right next to Eustace Mullins. And we also have some samples of the homeopathic pharmaceuticals. And we are doing sessions here at the Congress. Now we're doing them during the breaks. We're also doing them at a discount. In Colorado, the biofeedback rates, as we bill it through biofeedback, which it's legally registered as, is around 100 plus. So we're doing a $75 discount price at the session. So we're right back there, and come back and pick up some information and ask some questions. Thank you.
Terry Cook.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Terry Cook. I'm a Christian researcher. I've been researching Mark of the Beast 666 technology for the past 5 years. I have obtained the actual computer chips that are being injected into animals for the purpose of identifying them, and also for conditioning us into receiving the Mark ID chip. Soon I will have the new human being chip. These are animal chips. You can stop by and see me. I'll show you the chips. I'll show you the scanner. I'll show you how it all works. I have the injection needles. I have transponder cards. I have the transponder things that'll be going into your cars. No one will buy or sell without the computer chip. No one will operate their car on the freeways without a transponder. No one will have our animals anymore without a transponder ID. I have a 1-hour video, a very comprehensive booklet and a video explaining it all from a Christian perspective regarding Bible prophecies of the end and the second coming of Christ and the Antichrist. That's what this New World Order is really all about, folks. We're approaching the final period of time that Jesus told us about 2,000 years ago. It's coming on like a juggernaut. Eustace Mullins describes it very aptly in his books. And Eustace, I don't know where you are, but if you'll raise your hand, I'd like to talk to you about giving you some microchips sometime so you can share it with people. But anyway, if you'll stop by, for $35, I have a book and a 1-hour video that you can't get from anybody but me. For the past few years, I've been doing research for television evangelists. I've given all this information to Bo Greitz and many others. Now I've come public myself, and information's available. Please stop by and see me. I'll show you everything, show you how the whole system works.
Terry's here because I asked him to be here. You need to see that. We should have Walter Wright next. What? Walter Wright is the guy I called.
Walter, are you here? Can we go with somebody else, Dean?
Jim Whitley? Julie Whitley, are you here?
Try another.
Okay.
Cheryl is here.
Dave Persons.
Let's go with
Cheryl Chi.
Well, Cheryl is, okay. Go ahead. But then after David Persons is Julie Litow, and then Dean Behrens. Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Cheryl. You won't miss me. I'm right in front of the door. Okay. I have a machine. It's called a TDP therapeutic device. And this device is made from 33 different crystal minerals. It looks like a lamp. Don't miss it. You'll think that is a regular lamp, but this is a therapeutic device. Okay, this is good for arthritis, for relieve the pain, and also for promote the healing. And this device has won the gold medal invention in 1986 in Europe. So come over to talk to me more detail about this fantastic machine. And we also have other Chinese herbs that work together with machine that can get very good synergetic effect, such as asparagus extract. That's very good for the immune system and also a good diuretic agent. Vanillite, which is good for the blood circulation, and a scar-free skincare ointment. That's called Mebo. That's very good for the scars. And besides of that, I have a magnetic toothbrush. See this? It has 2 magnets in there, and it's very good for gingivitis and also for the gum disease. Besides of that, we have other interesting stuff, all the work with Chinese herbs. Please come to see me, and I love to talk to you. Thank you.
Is Dave Persons there?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David, representing Rono Ultra Health, introducing a product called colloidal silver. Colloidal suspension is the ultrafine particles of one substance held in suspension by an electrical charge into another substance. 2 of the colloidal suspensions you may be familiar are homogenized milk and aerosol spray. Colloidal silver is the ultrafine particles of pure silver held in suspension by an electrical charge into pure water. I have a report that reveals that colloidal silver is an effective remedy for over 650 diseases. Among these are AIDS, allergies, arthritis, bladder inflammation, blood parasites, blood poisoning, burns, cancer, candida, colitis, diabetes, hay fever, leukemia, Lyme disease, parasitic infections, stomach ulcers, viral, fungal, and bacterial pneumonia, pleurisy, prostate, rheumatism, ringworm, scarlet fever, septic conditions of the eyes, ears, nose, and throat, shingles, skin cancer, staph and strep infections, stomach flu, thyroid, tuberculosis, virus of all forms, warts, yeast infections, and so forth. I encourage you to stop where you see the yellow poster and pick up your free brochure, your free report on colloidal silver. Thank you for your attention.
Julie Letou?
Hi, I'm Julie, and I have pyramids here. My pyramids are set at the 57-degree angle, which, from information that we've received from Norma Milanovic on the Templar project in Crestone, Colorado. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that project. And also with some etheric force collectors. There's some plans out there that have been brought through by Kathumi. The new angle is at 57 degrees, 54 minutes. And you should find some of the new technology will be using that specific angle in their pyramids and their etheric force collectors. It is the optimum energy collection angle. So my pyramids, the meditation pyramids I have back there, they retail for $49.95. I wanted to make it so that it would be reasonable, people could afford it and could start using this energy and start tuning into that which they've been wanting to tune into. People who do TM, transcendental meditation, or just generic meditation have found really good results by using specifically this pyramid that I know of. And also keeping the costs down, more people can keep using it. And I also have the spheres. I don't know if, how many of you are familiar with using crystal energy But if you use the crystal energy in conjunction with a pyramid by setting it on top, it will actually program the pyramid to help you in whatever you're trying to achieve. Like you'd use obsidian and you'd program it to help you with healing, or whatever it is you're trying to get. You'd use an amethyst for your third eye activity if you want to channel. It'll help channels be able to channel that much easier and that much more clearly. So it just helps you develop those things that you wish to develop. And that's what I'm selling. Thank you. Come see me.
Thank you. Dean Behrens, then Hannah Kroger and Tom Brown. Okay, Hannah Kroger, Tom Brown, Virgil Armstrong. Dean Behrens, okay.
Hi, I'm Dean Behrens from New Mexico, and I represent my own company, Universal Supply Center. We're selling the Sunrider products, the Chinese concentrated food herb products, and we have brochures on the Sunrider story, which you can pick up back at our booth, as well as other products. Also, we're selling some 3D Nishika cameras, and for those who are looking to get out of the city, I have a subdivision in New Mexico outside of Albuquerque, about 65 miles in the foothills of the Manzano Mountains, 40-acre tracts, and I have brochures on those there too. Thank you.
Okay. David Slater for Hannah Kroger. And then Virgil Armstrong be ready, and then Gene McKeating.
I'm not sure I can match Hannah Kroger's introduction, but as she whizzed through it, there is a booth about midway back. She has an awful lot of remedies that are here for different issues, and of course we can't diagnose or prescribe for you, but we might find what's harmonious for you and you might make your own decision. She also has a lot of books back there in which you will find information on healing that I have not found duplicated in other books. So back there about halfway. Is that fast enough?
Better all the time. Virgil Armstrong ready? Gene McKeating? Carol Dennis? Oh, okay.
Hi, my name's Jeannie McKeating, and I'm doing soul destiny readings. My belief is that we're not insignificant, little, tiny, lonesome people, small people here to survive, but that we're powerful, angelic, vast beings here on a mission, and that we have a purpose. And my readings are divine to help you see what your soul's purpose is, what it is in this lifetime that you are here to perform. And my readings are $15 for 15 minutes, and they're taped. My tool is numerology, and my gift is inspiration. My talent is here to help you figure out what it is and to see from another dimensional side just what it is you're here to do on a soul level. Thank you.
Carol Dennis, then Bob Johnson and Jim Solomon.
Hi, my name's Carol Dennis. I wrote a book, Colorology, the study of the science of color. It's a simplified scientific approach to help you understand why you experience color the way you do. What actually happens within the human anatomy, that certain colors will raise your blood pressure and certain colors will lower it. This is the science behind it. I have a lot of different products to help you use color in your life real practically and real simply. I also wrote the UFO reference book. It's a chronology of UFO history going back to BC times. I took 120 UFO books and magazines and went up on top of a mountain and read 15 hours a day for 3 months. And I was inputting so much data I couldn't comprehend the whole thing, and so I used my computer and I put in the date, the subject, the book, the page number the information came from, and then what happened. And I also put in there what we as a society were doing during these different periods of time, like when we were marching on Washington, when we were inventing certain things. And there are all sorts of different facts in there about strange things that have happened in space, abductions and sightings and government cover-ups and medical cover-ups and all sorts of things. And everybody who reads it reads their own agenda into it and reads a different book out of it. I am also doing readings, rainbow readings. I use a pendulum to discover your life color because everyone has a particular frequency that they come into this planet on. And with that information, I can tell you about yourself. I also measure the energy centers with a pendulum, and with all of that, I can tell you a lot about yourself. So I'm available for that as well. And I also co-wrote the book Prodigy's Extraterrestrial Telepathic Intelligence Phenomenon with Robin Quayle. And so if you're like, she was talking about twins, I'm doing a lot of the twin research, and that fascinates me. So if you're a twin, please come and talk to us. And I would love to come and talk to you. So look for the rainbow. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob Johnson, Jim Solomon, and then Colleen Quinn.
Yeah, I'm Bob Johnson, the blowgun booth, clear back in the back corner. We've had a video that just came out here recently by Dr. Holmquist. It's a chiropractic video that teaches you how to adjust your family members and adjust yourself. This video is set up with a 100-minute video and a workbook that takes you through step by step to find out where the misalignment is, how to adjust on it, how to set up on it, and how to adjust it. It sells for $69.95 for the book and the video combination, which is less than a visit to a chiropractor anymore. Super book. Besides that, we have our blowguns that we always sell at all of these shows. The blowguns are 3-foot blowgun special, comes with 10 broadhead darts. You can use them for deer hunting. You can actually take down a deer with one dart. We also have 16 push-through darts and 8 thumpers on the blowgun. And once all of the guns are gone, you're going to need a weapon that you can still use. The blowgun will always be here. The Africans, the Aborigines, can take a man or an animal down in 6 to 8 seconds at 100 yards with a blowgun. The meat is still edible in most cases, depends upon what you want to use. Nicotine, you don't want to eat the meat after you've used it, but it'll kill an animal in 6 to 8 seconds. The blowgun will go through a Teflon vest. You've got to be careful with them. They are a dangerous weapon. We've also got paintballs for them. They're a lot of fun. The 3-foot special blowgun only runs $25 with all the darts with it. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. Jim Solomon, then Colleen Quinn, and Don Paris, and Alona.
I'd like to give greetings from Ed Skilling. I left him about 3 weeks ago in Milwaukee, and he's getting along fine. And I've been working with Ed and Bob, and I've been selling their equipment. I don't personally sell it anymore. I'm still being harassed by the state and the FDA. But on Bob's MRT2, the microwave resonant therapy unit, which we have back there, I've put together 2 books, one on acupuncture points and all this type of thing, and one on the Russians, on the study that they did of 8,000 people, and the different diseases, which I can't mention diseases, but you can come back and look, that the microwave resonant therapy is helping. It's quite a unique device because you don't feel it, and you can do any acupuncture point, even do your back acupuncture points. We also, I work with Telefriend, which is a phone company which costs about 12.1 cents a minute on your long distance calls, and you can save money. Thank you. Thanks, Dean.
Thank you, Jim. Colleen Quinn, then Selke and Paris, and then Arazia Bouldry.
Hi, I'm Colleen Quinn. I'm from Houston, Texas. How are y'all doing today? Very good. I'm bringing to the Southwest what we've had in Texas for about 6 months. It's called the Metaphysical Pages of Texas. It will now be called the Resource Guide of the Southwest. We have already got people signed up in Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, people that are alternative practitioners, much like some of the people here. Wonder of wonders. I'm also giving reading back there, so do come by, check it out, pick one of these up for free. Say hello. Thank you.
Don Paris.
Hi, I'm Don Paris, and we have the booth back there against the wall on the left-hand side. One of our main instruments that we've been working with for many years is the SE5, which many of you are familiar with. I've just completed a book about the SE5 and the uses and theory behind it, and I had hoped to have it ready for the conference, but I didn't make it. So they should be out in about a month. And if you're at all familiar with the SE5, basically what it does is it reads informational fields or subtle energy fields and balances them, which brings me to the next point. I guess it's been 3 years ago now, I presented a videotape that had it was called Mantras and Mandalas here at the conference, with different colors, sounds, and radionic SE5 tunings in that would balance your chakras. This year, we've brought the similar type of process out on a CD, so that on a CD or cassette tape, you can actually just pop this into your CD player or your tape player, and it'll balance your chakras while you listen to the music. We did quite a bit of testing on it, and the reports of the testing are in a chapter in my book. And the last product that we have is, we have other products too, but the Mind Journeys are guided imagery or guided meditations on different subjects like finding your purpose in life, healing your body, Dreamtime Awakening, which is out of the body kind of work, healing the earth, dolphin consciousness, time travel, kind of fun stuff that you can do. And it's music and guided imagery, and we've also put some reverse messages on there which help the subconscious to integrate those things. So come back and see us. Thanks.
Thank you. Erasure Bouldry and then Denise Fine.
Good evening. I'm Erasure, and I'm the coordinator of Antikarana, the Star People Connection. And I'm one of the ones who knows my mission. And my mission is to work with star people, and very rarely if ever, have I ever gotten involved with a multi-level marketing product. And I'm here tonight to introduce you to the Voyager, which is the state-of-the-art mind management technology machine, which is probably one of the best ways, I would say absolutely one of the very best ways to open yourself up to what your mission and your purpose in life is. There is a program that we're going to be offering this evening that I think is very exciting, and I think when I tell you the name of it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's called Euphoria, and that's UFOARIA. And Richard Dobb, who is here from Theta Technology in Falls City, has put that program together, and we invite you to come over to the corner over there right by the door and try it. We'll look forward to saying hello to all of you. Thank you.
Denise Fine and then Janet Meisinger and then Dorothy Glass.
Hello, this is Dorothy from Kansas, and this is my husband. Toto follows me around wherever I go. And I am with the water ionizing machine. Song Wang wrote a book several years ago called Reverse Aging. He is a Korean. He speaks 6 different languages, and he found out that by drinking water, he could reverse aging. And the alkaline water, which goes through our machine, it takes the acids out of the body. The acids in the body is what keeps us not feeling so well. And so you hook up our machine to your water system, and the water goes through a filter, a charcoal filter. Then it goes into this machine, and you have 2 electrodes. And so the negative ions are attracted to the positive, and the positive are attracted to the negative. That way, your minerals and your chemicals are separated from the water. Out the front top spout comes your alkaline water, which is for drinking. Out your other spout comes the acid water, which you use for bathing, for watering your plants, and for washing your hair, and it works very well for that. The alkaline water tastes very good, and when you drink alkaline water that has been ionized, you have your calcium, you have your potassium, you have your sodium, and you have your iron, and you have your magnesium in the water that your body needs. Many Americans today go around mineral deficient, and many Americans go around water deficient. We go around dehydrated because we don't like the taste of water. But this water is a good water. Your body craves this water. You drink water. It helps you to feel better. It helps you to utilize your food. It helps you to utilize your supplements. And it just helps your body to function at a higher level that it cannot do without ionized minerals. So stop by our booth and see us, pick up one of Song Wan's book, and take an ionizer home with you today. Thank you.
Janet Meisinger, then Andrew McCrowski and Judith Parr.
Thank you. was one that appeared in the field in 1991, and the scientists were blown away by it because it's the Mandelbrot, and they understand that symbol. To many of the physicists, this is the higher physics right now. It's fractal mathematics, okay? And to them, it stands for chaos, all right? And and I have crop circle cards back there that show the printouts, the actual printouts when you put a fractal mathematic into a big computer, and then they print out these beautiful patterns. It's just astounding. These were discovered by Mr. Mandelbrot in the late 1980s. So it's pretty recent that this was discovered. And then this one showed up in 1991 in the fields. And then intuitively sometimes I get a message that needs to go with it. So intuitively I got this message that chaos is the opportunity to bury the old and birth the new. And I was really excited about it because then about a month later I was reading a book about Nikola Tesla, and he calls chaos the great mother. And I mean, after all, this is birthing, you know. I mean, so that's really exciting for me. The other thing that I'm doing that's really exciting this year is I'm working on Project 93. And this is a project where we are picketing the Federal Reserve banks and the IRS. We intend to address Congress September 29th with address for grievances. This is an actual legal action. And then we want them to end the Federal Reserve and the IRS. And we're going to make their little seats hot if they don't. We have some actual legal action that we're going to start to take, okay? So this is going on. Dee Kidd and her husband started here in Denver, and I went to a monthly global science meeting and heard her speak about when she first came out with her packet, and I said, that's what I've been wanting to work on. And I'm at my computer till midnight, often sending out packets, and it's really mushrooming. People across, I'm even getting packets back from people in South Carolina don't even know I'm in on this, okay? I mean, they're sending them to me, making sure I know about it, and so I know it's getting around, all right? So come by my table and learn about all these things, okay?
Okay, thanks. Andrew McCroskey, Judith Parn, and Bob McLaren.
Okay, I'll be giving two talks. First is for the association called the Planetary Association of Clean Energy, which was founded about 20 years ago by a very staunch and independent senator in Canada who believed very much in the freedom of every individual. And while he created the science policy of Canada and all its research councils, he felt it was very important that there be some entity, hopefully within the Canadian government, which would scan for things that would be good for man in energy, in agriculture, and medicine. Unfortunately, that was botched. And the only thing that was not accepted by the Canadian government, and instead decided to create a private citizens organization which has grown since to 70 countries and is continuing to give, as originally planned, whatever it can to help the network of scientists and technical people around the world to be able to bring and deliver to the people what is their right. That's the Planetary Association of Clean Energy. We have as much information we could bring over by plane in the booth there, and you can look through it and so on. Now, on the other hand, I'm also speaking for my wife, Monique, for a company called Essentia, and in a way like the association, she has been very careful to look through things that are accessible to people in the areas usually of health or just self-invigorment, and that she has tested over and over again. It's very interesting that my wife's greatest clientele for her company, Essentia, have been probably about 2/3 of these people are people who are environmentally sensitive, because we see now that people who do suffer multiple allergies basically have systems that have been very depleted, and it is necessary in our society to have whatever it takes to boost them up. So there you are. You see a small sampling of such products at Essentia. Thank you.
Dr. Judith Parr, and then Bob McLaren and Pat Pirapan.
I am the lady next to the I Am chart, and I have I Am books and some books I have written and some other books and things of beauty. But I have been felt led that with the time that I have to lead us all in singing. So would you join me in singing Let There Be Peace on Earth? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Hey. Robert McLaren, Pat Pirapan, and Bob Maroney.
I'm Crystal Bob, or Mango Bob. I go to Brazil often and go to back roads into little mining towns, and I'm in the back there if you want anything specialized in terms of crystals or healing stones. And I live in southern Colorado, Creststone, so make a connection if you're interested.
Bob McLaren's not here? Okay, Bob Maroney.
Go down another.
Dwayne Eccles.
Another.
Clark Wallace.
We got Clark.
And then Joe Maslin after that.
Hi, I'm Clark Wallace. I'm from the Ginseng Gardens. I live like a hermit on top of a mountain. I've been up there for 15 years studying herbs and growing my herbs. Everything that I have there, or most of the things I have there, are wild herbs that I gather wild out of the woods or I grow myself. The most important herb that I have is wild ginseng. Ginseng that you get in the health food stores is either Korean ginseng, Chinese ginseng. It's all garden grown. It's only 4 or 5 years old. The ginseng I have back here is at least 10 years old. When I dig it, if it's less than 10, I replant it right there and wait for another day to dig it. Ginseng, if you take it on a regular basis, it will normalize blood pressure, blood sugar levels. It will build up your system where you don't catch colds, flus, and viruses. It's very good for stress. Russia uses it in their space flight as an anti-stress factor for their cosmonauts. Best of all, it makes you feel good. 20 minutes after you take one of those ginseng capsules, you just feel good. It's not like diet pills speeding you up or anything like that. It's just a good feeling. You think, man, I feel great. I have other herbal mixtures there. I have one for sinus remedy that is just really, really good. I've got them for arthritis, all different kinds of herbal mixtures that are made with good wild herbs. Nothing is processed. It's a one-man thing on top of the mountain there. I package them myself. I grind them myself. I label them myself. It's all done naturally. I come out about 4 times a year to do shows, and this is one of the ones that I chose to do to display what I have. I'm right there in the middle of everything if you want to come back and see what I got. The ginseng is the very best thing, and I will feel very badly if you don't all come back there and get some of that good wild ginseng. You can't get it nowhere else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Joe Maslin, Claire Applegate.
Dwayne here. We got Dwayne.
Dwayne Eccles woke up, huh?
I'm in here. I brought Sarah with me. Sarah has a testimony of the products we have.
which are enzymes. And she's been using them back in Wichita, Kansas, and so had some real results. Those of you who were at the Global Science Conference in Daytona Beach, remember I had a little Indian girl with me. The little Indian girl gave the testimonial. She was dying. She was literally dying. And they called me and I said, well, what do you feel like? What's your symptoms? She told me, I told her a few things to do, and she stood in front of the Global Science Conference. Sarah's going to tell you some things that happened to her.
How many of you know maybe a baby who that's been colicky or has thrown up a lot? Well, I knew a little boy, he's almost 2 years old in Wichita, and he had been colicky for several months and throwing up every night. And I tried to get them to drop the milk, but in a good Swedish-Hungarian family, that wasn't possible. So the next best thing was give her a bottle of enzymes. And that baby, the first night, ceased throwing up and hasn't thrown up since. And his personality is even changing now that we're really, really pleased and happy. The other story I have to tell is about if some of you have daughters or granddaughters who have PMS, or women who've gone through menopause, you might be interested in the milk thistle enzyme. That very, very helpful. I know I tried products for about 4 years, everything herbal, and with no luck. And once I got on the milk thistle, it balanced my ovaries just very quickly. So I was really, really pleased.
Thank you, Sarah. We're right back in the corner by the blowguns. You can't miss us. Come on back and talk to us. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, as you all know, my name's Joe Maslin. I'm here representing Celtec Super Blue Green Algae. If you're interested in using a product that's wild, organic, it's one of the oldest extant life forms on the planet, having fossilized records going back about 3.5 billion years, and something that can communicate that kind of survivability to you, that's what the algae is all about. If you want a whole wild organic food that people report enables them to handle stress better, have more energy, have more mental energy, a very enhanced quality of life, that's what consuming and eating the algae can do for you. I'm also involved with Omega Nutrition's oils featuring flaxseed oil, which is the richest dietary source of the omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-linolenic. Very powerful food, deficient in this culture that we live in. It's used medicinally by all kinds of different healing therapies. Hopefully the FDA will not inhibit its use for us and some of the other things that people here are involved with. If you haven't already written your congressman, let them know how you feel about you're wanting these products to be available to you without having to seek a medical professional. Also, both of the products, the algae line, which also includes a pet food, pets thrive on this stuff, also hair care and skin care products, or the oils, which also includes a culinary line, olive, canola, safflower, sunflower, massage oils, you name it. They're both recently available in a network marketing situation. Thank you.
Was this Claire?
Yes.
Claire Applegate, then Kia Oro, and Nanette Christ.
Hello, my friends. I'm Claire Applegate, and this is my first time to come to an event like this and share a gift that was brought to me one evening that I know I am to share with everyone else who would like to receive it. Mother Mary came to me one night, and she shared a song with me. It came complete with lyrics and melody. I'm not a songwriter, but this was quite a startling event for me. She also brought me a message. She said, "This song is a blessing. It will be sung in many homes." And I was shown the vision of hundreds of people singing this song in their homes. And there were storms raging outside, but as this was occurring, they were in peace. There was no fear. And then I was told that the song would be recorded, and it would be with the right people in the right place in the right time. And several of my friends had shared with me that I should call Annie Kirkwood, who is the author of the book Mary's Message to the World. These people did not know each other who told me this, but after so many urgings, I finally did call. I met Annie, and I'd never told her about this song because I was still a little bit shy about the whole thing. I wasn't sure what to think yet. And finally, she called me about a month later and said that Mary had chosen me to be her voice and put the book on tape. So I went to Dallas, and I was there putting the book on tape and shared with the producer that there was this song from Mary, and I asked him if he would like to hear it. And he said, well, yes, but let's record it while you sing it. So I did, and then, of course, the prophecy was fulfilled. The song was recorded, and now it is the theme song of the book on tape. But to make it more available to people, I have also created this tape called Mary's Lullaby, and it is a 30-minute tape of the song with different renditions musically, but it is the same vocal that I sang during the time that I was in the recording studio. So it is here to share with you, for those who would like to hear it. I'm at the back of the wall, and I'll play the song for you. Thanks.
Okay. Is it true? Yeah, it is true. Virgil Armstrong is alive and well.
Good evening. Could I ask you to turn to the person next to you and say, I love you? Would you do that right now, please, before I get on? Put something into it. Thank you. I'm here basically just visiting, and I have a booth back there with some audios and videotapes. And all my books didn't arrive, but I have a couple books back there. Anyhow, I see a lot of old friends in the audience. I've been in the business for 23 years, and I guess I'm one of the oldest around right now in age and otherwise. But nonetheless, come and visit my booth. There's a lot of updated information which I think is pertinent to you and our times. Good luck and God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Kia Oro, Nanette Christ, and then Tom Johnson.
Hello, my name's Kia Oro, and some of you know me as a palm reader and psychic, and I've been here for several years now. Some of you have heard Michael Scallion, Gordon Michael Scallion, and he talked about how much more psychic we would be getting with the earth changes. In the last year, I've also added tarot and reflexology to my background, and I've been doing my readings about 8 years now. So it seems things are expanding for me. Also, with one of the techniques that Michael taught some of us in a group, I've also been able to psychically pick up numbers. So if you'd like to know at what age, for instance, your next major relationship is, I can pick that up psychically. Or if you're coming into a new cycle, such as unconditional love, I can not only tell that on the hand, but I can pick up psychic cycles energetically. For instance, if you're coming into a time of empowering, or if you're going through a major change within, I can feel how long, for instance, if you're changing within, how long this cycle of change is going to last. I call it the I am time, but I can talk with you a little further about what that means. But anyway, I am picking up numbers, again with cycles and also ages of circumstances happening for you. I'm also able to pick up a mate you want to know about, or a child in your family, if you'd like to know about them. That's the kind of psychic work I do. As far as your hand, if you want to look on your hand, I don't suppose, Phil, you could put this up there, can you? Well, it's supposed to come in on the screen here. Is it over there? Can you all see the line up here? It's the top line across the hand. Look on the hand that you use, okay? There's a major line that runs right underneath the finger straight across. Now, if you look below the little finger, the joint of the finger, and that major line I just showed you on the outside of the hand, that will show you how many relationships you're going to have in life. How many major relationships you'll have underneath the little finger, just right on top here. And they start from the bottom going up, okay, in session. Also, is that my timing? Okay, what I'd just like to mention real quickly is my rates are $10 for 15 minutes, $20 for a half hour. If you'd like a longer reading, that's fine also. If you'd like to read outside of this room, we can set up a private reading area. And I have a sign-up sheet on my table. I'm pretty much in the center here. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, Nanette Christ, Tom Johnson, then Dolores Sordorf.
I'm Nanette Christ. I teach metaphysics at various spiritual centers around the country. And this started for me 21 years ago when I had an illumination experience with God and was taken to the great central sun. And after that time, I began to open up clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, and other ways and develop gifts of the Spirit. So here I have an exhibit straight down this aisle of some of the spiritual visionary artwork that I do, which I have been doing artwork since I was 7. And I wait until I have either Akashic vision or a direct apparition of one of the world's religious teachers or angels or other spiritual beings. And with each painting, I incorporate the sacred numbers, the sacred geometry, and the colors that will affect healing and carry the virtues. In this way, it will resonate for the viewer. So you can look at the painting and receive healing or inspiration or acquire the virtues more easily by attuning to that picture. And here's a sample of one of them. This is the painting of Jesus the Christ, which was done in 1986 at Easter time. I had an unexpected apparition, vision of Jesus, which lasted for 3 days, and the painting was done during that time. Since then, it's been published and gone out throughout the world as prints, and we've had many people say they had seen Jesus in an after-death experience, or they had had a healing by him, and by attuning to the painting, we've had many people report healings. So I'm sharing this here. I also do private consultations, spiritual consultations, helping people to develop a relationship to their own God presence, find out what their particular spiritual gifts are, and how they can better utilize them to serve humanity and God. So please come back for a visit. We're straight down the aisle here, and I plan to be with you to speak at the Global Science Conference in Virginia Beach, and I hope you'll all join us there. Thank you.
Tom Johnson, Dolores Ordorf, and then Bernadette Sonnefeld.
I'm Tom Johnson from Virginia Beach, and I was instrumental in having the next conference in Virginia Beach. If you're happy about that, please tell me. If you're unhappy, it was Dean's final choice. So my booth is right next to Nanette's, and we have Edgar Cayce products. We've been selling Edgar Cayce products for about 25 years. And by using those products, I have attained the ripe old age of 90. And people tell me I don't look a day over 80. So come back and find out the secrets. Among the things we have for you while the supply lasts is a free copy of this wonderful catalog of all kinds of great products that will cure you of all your bodily afflictions. And we have little sample bottles of Arglow. Arglow was a product that he recommended as a general purpose skin lotion, massage oil, moisturizer, hair oil, bath oil, and 85 other uses. So while they last, you can get one of those free bottles. Tomorrow, there will be somebody here from Canada, a friend of mine, will be bringing a product that's well known in Canada called Essiac. Essiac, some of you have probably heard of. It's used up there for the word that starts with C, which nobody can say. So that's a very interesting product, and some psychics have recommended that, so you might like to find out more about that tomorrow. And My time is probably just about up, so I'm going to turn the podium over to the next person.
Okay. Dolores Ordorf, Bernadette Sonnefeld, and Robert Friedenstein.
Hi, I guess you've seen me before, and I've been here a number of times, and I'm still getting the same product on the market. I am truly in love with it, yet to this day I massage myself every day. I feel great. I am limber. I clean out all of the synapses of the body by hitting all the acupressure points. I have many acupuncture doctors using it now. And you can do this for yourself. We also have a way that you can get over your allergies by using this, and it just takes within 25 hours to do it. And you just do it to your back and hold the product you're allergic to, and go 25 hours without it. Come on back to the booth back there, and I'll show you how you can do this yourself. It's very cheap that way. And I also made an acupuncture chart now. It has all three sides of the body with all of the pressure points as much as possible. Of course, I know there's no way of listing all of them. There's by the millions in the body. These refer to the organs, and I have these charts, some of them for sale yet. I have one videotape left back there. Don't know, they went out pretty fast today. And I'll only be here until tomorrow noon, and then I'll have another couple back there giving treatments. But I am giving treatments showing you how you can balance yourself, get over allergies, and so on. And I still think it's the greatest tool because I don't have to hook it up to electricity, and I don't have to pay $200 to $1,000 or $10,000, and I wouldn't trade it for any one of the machines. If they had to make me a choice as to which one I was going to take, I would keep this one. Has brass inside, encourages the energy, has all the points to hit all the pressure points and clean out the synapses. The other thing I want to say to you people while I'm here, like I say, I'll be gone tomorrow. I'll be lecturing in Chicago for the Health Federation. I have some other people running the booth tomorrow. And I also have Dr. Stoll here with Dr. Longrader's work if you want to see it on the tea clean out. It's a homeopathic tea. It's very cheap to do at home by the pennies. And the other thing is, I spent 2 weeks in Washington, D.C., and I was meditating with 4,000 people there. And what happened was there's a 30% crime drop in Washington, D.C. while we were there. Thank you. I know you're interested. When groups of people are together, and they are hitting what we call the seventh heaven, the seventh state of consciousness in meditating. There are many forms of meditating, all kind of yogas. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 is mantra meditation. And that's the one that's being offered by the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And he came through speaking to us from Holland, and he was beautiful. He's in his 80s. And all he wants is heaven on earth. How many want heaven on earth? We don't need to go somewhere. We need to build this nation, right? We need to build it. And the way we're going to do it, I'm sorry my time is up. I love you all. Thank you very much. My booth is way back in the corner.
Bernadette Sonnefeld, Robert Friedenstein, and Mary Mattern.
Hi, I'm here representing the Vegetarian Society of Colorado. We're pretty much a all-volunteer public outreach, education outreach group. We're not affiliated with any particular other group, religion or anything. We do have available about 6 or 7 different brochures back at the table there. They're free brochures about factory farming. We do have a Colorado Vegetarian Dining Guide, and we have a brochure here about fish, why you need not be eating fish. Questions about protein can be answered in this brochure, and how vegetarianism links up with the environment. And we also have a little brochure with dishes, recipes. We have 7 or 8 major events throughout the year. Our most major event is the Thanksgiving Day potluck. We usually have a live turkey there. We did last year at least. And we also are appear at many different health and wellness fairs. Actually, I guess that's basically all we do is pretty much a public outreach group. Thank you very much. We can be reached at this phone number on the back of our brochure. Oh, I'm sorry. We're about midway back in the middle. Thank you.
Okay, Robert Friedenstein, Mary Mattern, and then Cal and Gwen Harbin.
My name is Robert Friedenstein. Most of you know myself. Our family has been present at Global Sciences for, well, every single one of them. Our booth is back here at New Horizons Trust. We have a variety of different products. Some of them are new to you this year. It's impossible to tell you the variety of them. We have over 150 of them there. We have new catalogs that we put out this year. Please come by and see me. If you see a group of children running around the area, I have my 5 children with us here. So if you see them, say hi to them. They'll be happy to talk to you, all but one, who's Andrew. And please talk to Andrew. He is very shy when people talk to him, so we need to get him over the shyness just a little bit. So if you see an Andrew running around 7 years old about this tall, say hi to him. It'll help him out a lot in his growth. But please come by and see us. We have a mailing list. We have thousands of people that we send mailings out to on a regular basis, and we do network with many different groups and organizations. Thank you very much.
Mary Mattern, Cal and Gwen Harbin, and then and then Mona Monk, and I want to see Carol Ward too up here, please.
Between the blue-green manna back there and the IAM chart, there are some very, very beautiful sacred geometry earrings that we'd like to have you stop and see. And they're not only pierced ears, but they're for clip-ons. I mean, for ears that haven't been pierced, and there are not many people who make clip-on earrings anymore. So come back and look at them. They're very beautiful. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Cal Harbin. My wife and I flipped a coin. I lost, so I'm up here tonight making this presentation. Most of y'all did receive this in your flyers. This is for the first-time offer for energizing your clothes, jewelry, shoes, etc. We believe, as our brochure states here, that the first and most critical step in the development of good health is shielding yourself from all the electromagnetic fields that we're subject to in the environment that we live in today. So our stress point tonight is to have your own clothes, shoes, and jewelry energized so you can have them available at all times. We're located in the booth back here called Bionic Express. We can give you a strength test with all of our instruments in less than 30 seconds. We always invite everybody to come by. Also, as something we've been meditating on for quite a while, we have a constant stream of people coming to our home wanting their different clothing energized, their shoes, their sports equipment, and everything. We have had requests to lease some of these instruments out to where we can help generate more energy for the people. We've also debated on selling these instruments. These are particle energy accelerators. They will do the job for you. And we realize that through all of our struggles that we can't do it for enough people. But if we have enough of these instruments out across the country, all over the United States and possibly internationally, you can do it very easily. To energize the clothes for sporting equipment, I can fill you in on all of this, the details that are fantastic. If you'll come by and pick up a free brochure, this explains all of our different stages of equipment that we have at the present time, and it is unlimited, the potential of all this. You know, sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, so you can come up with whole new different ideas. Other people want us to energize vitamins, herbs, minerals. They want us to energize everything that is available for human consumption. You will notice that what we deal with is deflecting electromagnetic fields, but at the same time we have proved over and over that we can increase the potency of all these different herbs and vitamins with this same energy. So keep that in mind. Come back and talk to us. pick up one of our free brochures. We will go over in the aspect of you can develop your own line of products with this instrument. You can take it to your state. We're going to limit only like 4 instruments to the whole state of Colorado. So each state will be limited to so many machines. That way we're not stepping on everybody's toes. But we realize that we cannot do all this ourselves. It is very slow, very time consuming, and all the people come into our house having their shorts and everything energized and lifting weights and everything and say, man, this is the most fantastic thing I've ever got involved in. Y'all come to see us at the booth and we'll discuss it further. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I've been in global science for 10 years, and I've been doing my special scientific bead process for 17 years, and the global science people have been the people who have mainly been seeing this for all this time, and I come up with ideas because I come to global science, and I've been deeply absorbed in ancient cultures for many years, and I have a special interest in sacred geometry or harmonic geometry, whichever it's called. I've been doing that for at least 17 years, and that's reflected in my work. And the entire beading process is totally developed scientifically. It is not a random order in the universe. The color spectrum is what my process is mainly known for. It's very difficult to see this because it's so small, but if you come by my table, I have brought literally hundreds and hundreds of mandalas that are in different sheets, and you can have the opportunity to at least look at the colors, because there's so many different varieties and shapes and everything, and I can't make up everything, but people like to choose their own color spectrum. You know, like the people that have the sunglasses. I noticed that was really interesting to do that, because even though I like the other colors, when I put on the red, that really felt good. So that's the same thing with my mandalas. If you pick, some people use their pendulums, and one lady already picked out hers, and it works really neat. So there's many different kinds of beads, and there's sometimes I make animals. I've been doing this for so long, it's a wonder I can't use my hands anymore. But it's a wonderful experience to be able to show everybody here, because ordinarily I work for a bead company and I don't get to see the faces of the people who buy my work. So this is really great for me. And I'm also working and making things while I'm there. I have the light on my table. It's a big deal to set up, and I think you'll all enjoy it. It's very entertaining back there. I'm way back in the corner back there. So thank you very much.
Jeff Fetzer, Jack Derby, and then Betty Duncan.
Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Fetzer, and I'm here representing Memory Tools. And before I say anything, why don't everybody look at the person, why doesn't everyone look at the person next to them and just tell them, I believe in you? Okay, just say, I believe in you next to the person next to you. Okay. That's great. I love that. I just wanted to say that everyone here, I hope that you all remember to come and take a look at the memory tools that I sell. I've been working with these, getting great results with it. It far exceeded my expectations working with it. I'm still not finished with it. And my gift to anyone who comes back, which is right in the front on the left where the charts are that look like a whole mess of dots. They're actually three-dimensional images. My gift to all of you is anyone who comes and looks at those or comes near there, if you have any of your areas of your life that are a little bit out of balance that you would like to balance more, just tell me what area of your life it is, and I'll share with you a symbol that will help you balance that area of life more and really uplift you in that. So if you can come back there and ask me I'll share the symbol with you. That's my gift to you. And if you want to try the posters, they're really a lot of fun, and they also expand the mind and work with the memory in a beautiful way. And I also have a memory system called Memory at the Speed of Sight, which is, for those of you interested in healing, will be very interested in this. It takes you and progresses you beyond from a healing aspect and takes you through to a point where your consciousness is really enhanced to a high level, so that you'll be able to help other people get up to that point. And the posters also create what's called ocular harmonics, which is a complete integration between the two hemispheres of the mind, causing you to become not only very, very creative, but also very intellectual at the same time, and balancing that together. So for any of you that are working on progressing with yourselves and evoluting your consciousness, I hope that you'll have a chance to stop by there and share your experiences with me, and I'd like a chance to share with all of you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Jack and Marilyn Derby, Betty Duncan, and then Frank Lambert.
I'm Jack Derby, and this is my wife Marilyn. We're from Tucson, Arizona. Did you notice how many people here are from Arizona? Big things are happening out there. Everyone is concerned about aging, or will be. Metaphysicians tell us all we have to do is think positive and only believe what we want to be true. Nutritionists tell us all we have to do is eat 3 balanced meals a day. The holistic doctors tell us all we have to do is eat right, take herbs, food supplements, and exercise. Yogas tell us all we have to do is meditate, and it goes on and on and on. All of these are valid, but they just aren't enough. Aging will not be rendered by these methods alone, because there are too many things on this planet keeping us from bringing our DNA code back to its original Christ-conscious blueprint. It's obvious that there are many forces influencing mankind to not make it. Come to our workshop and we'll tell you about all the ones that we know about. We have been entrusted with the technology and wisdom to build a device called the crystal resonator, which will tune our DNA back to its original Christ-conscious code, or DNA. Science tells us that every day 5 billion new cells are regenerated in the body, and so the question we must ask is, why is it then when these new cells come into the body, they are just like the old ones that they are replacing? The crystal resonator will tune this back so that the new cells will come in young, healthy, and vibrant. It's God's plan for us that we can rejuvenate our own bodies. We have the instruments back on the table in this room, and we invite you to come and talk to us, and we'll tell you even more wonderful things about the crystal resonator. And we're going to be offering a workshop, so anybody interested, sign up for a workshop. We have handout sheets and more information. Also, we work with 16 power centers. The old original 7 chakras are not enough for modern Western man, so we work with 16. Once the spiritual blocks are removed from these centers and they are tuned to the universe, you will make all your choices from your higher self. Also, the crystal resonator produces a violet ray, which is part of the original creation, and it is intelligence. It also produces the golden ray. The violet ray will bring physical man into spiritual man. The golden ray will take this spiritual man then into God man. Also, the crystal resonator can counteract the electromagnetic pollution. And just to sort of be an example of what we're teaching, my wife happens to be a grandmother, and I know she appreciated that one.
Well, he has 8 grandchildren.
Is it?
Betty?
We're right down the center.
Betty Duncan, Frank Lambert, Carol Cummings.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me all right? I'm here to tell you about Juice Plus. It's a new product that we're really excited about. My husband, Ed Duncan, retired airline pilot, and myself, Betty Duncan, housewife and health nut, have been practicing the Reams theory, biological theory of ionization for the last 18 years. And except for accidents and trauma, we feel this theory could solve President Clinton's need for health care reform. 18 years ago, after seeing 5 different medical doctors seeking help for painful neck and spinal problems, an osteopath and a chiropractor in widely separated geographical areas of Dallas and Brownsville, Texas, suggested we look into the Reams theory. A biochemist taught and guided us in a radical change of diet and lifestyle. He gave us 15 pages of do's and don'ts that we have now compiled into 1 page for beginners. One of the major recommendations of this program, besides leaving off red processed meats, was to drink distilled water, half one's body weight in ounces every day. Another major emphasis was placed on consuming 8 ounces or more of raw, fresh fruit and vegetable juices. Juicing effort requires an expensive juice machine and lots of time to purchase, clean, and juice these fresh vegetables every day. This effort did solve my spinal degeneration, and instead of being in a wheelchair now, where I was headed with all my poor habits, I now enjoy square dancing, ballroom dancing, bicycling, swimming, and golf. In all these years, our attention was never really focused on the value of the fresh juices. We just accepted they were good for us. Now, an introduction to this valuable, low-temperature produced enzyme product has caused us to make a deeper study of the enzyme values. This product is, I say, called Juice Plus. The plus includes enzymes from 15 different vegetables and 15 different fruits. We were so excited today. Hannah came by the table and checked them out for us. She took some. Say, better get some. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, Frank Lambert, and then Elaine Finster and is with Carol Cummings, and then Buzz Kutzler.
First of all, I'm not interested in you. We have to spread the word. I've been coming to these conferences for a number of years now, and I decided in 1986 that it was about time that I got into some writing. So I've written the book. Random House editor wanted to publish it, but upstairs said no. I was too critical of the financial markets. I'm publishing it myself. I'm starting my own publishing company. Unfortunately, the books didn't arrive down here, but I'm ready to take orders. The book is called And the Gods Spoke. And the name of the author is me, but I don't use my own name. My pen name is O.N. Wursday, the 8th day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Out of this world. And the whole idea of the book, it's in storyline. It's for you to buy and give to people who you want to convert, to get in to think about the things that we think about. I'm not going to make any money out of this. It's cost a lot of money to print it. But I have on the table next to that gorgeous girl with the red jacket on that reads palms, I have some order forms over there. If you're interested in getting one, okay, fine, just pass the order. They will be ready next week. They couldn't get them down here this week. Thank you very much.
Okay, Elaine Finster, and then Buzz Kutzler.
Hello, everybody. I have several products. First of all, our booth is on this side of the wall as you enter. I have this device, and it's called soft laser, or sometimes called cold laser, and it's on a red frequency that is at 660 nanometers. I've worked with it on a abscess tooth. It took the pain away in about 2 days. I then went to the dentist to make sure everything was fine, and he said the abscess was gone, my pain was gone, and I just felt better. Worked with it with headaches and cuts, and it does work. I've just had excellent results. We have 3 models right now. I just have this one model this evening, but I'll have the other 2 models in the morning. So if you want to play with it, you're welcome to come into our booth. We got a couple chairs that you can sit there. And somebody I think was doing photos, so if you want to take a photo before and then work with this laser light and then go back, you're welcome to. This is also non-coherent. We also have a couple other products, 18 karat gold bottles, and some people are using them for essential oils, special waters, or well, just a pretty perfume bottle, I guess. Anyway, they're from Egypt. They're 18 karat gold. They come in a variety of colors and a variety of shapes. They're all handmade. We have this little item called a PAL, and it's an alarm system. I know I bought mine in Atlanta about a month ago and carried it in my purse. There's a little wristband that I put this in my purse, and I have the wristband around my wrist, and if somebody were to take my purse, then they walk away with the alarm. It's at 107 decibels. I won't pull the plug because I'd wake everybody up for sure. It'll really catch your attention. This also, if you fell in the water, this one, we have 2 models. This model is waterproof. It's also kind of a nice idea if you take a walk at 6 a.m. in the morning, you know, nobody else is around. I know I feel a lot safer with mine, and I do a lot of travel. There's also another plug with it that you can put in the doorway, and it'll alarm you if somebody's coming in. We have rain sticks. Some people are familiar with them, some are not. Doesn't mean that it's going to rain, but what it does is it balances your aura, makes you feel more focused, and it just sounds really nice. And because each one's a little bit different shape, everybody is on a particular sound, so come on over and play with the rain sticks and see what they do for you. So this year, instead of doing crystals, we're doing smell and sound. So we're over this way. Thanks.
Okay. Buzz Kutzler.
Well, good evening. I am the dairy farmer from South Dakota, organic farmer. I originally started out working with colostrum because I needed some health benefits for my animals, and in later years I found out they worked even better on humans. So it's been very exciting for me doing this, and I've gotten into some other things too. Main concern is to help people take care of their own selves. That's what I think is so basic. We need to take care of our personal health and well-being, and there isn't anything any more important than that. Now myself, this is my 11th conference here with Dean and Phyllis, and I'm very proud to be here. I've gone 14 years without a cold or the flu. I don't think that happens accidentally. You have to do something to make things like that happen. It's because I've built up my immune system, and when the problems come, they just more or less bounce off. The colostrum has been very exciting. I happen to be the one that made a colostrum product available for human use because I did start to work with the MS people years and years ago. And it is really growing fast. I'm actually involved in an export situation right now to Taiwan with this colostrum. I also added a lot of nutritional products to help supplement the colostrum when it needed more help. I have books that I can look up the problems that people experience and the suggested nutrition that they need to overcome that problem. It's been very, very effective. One of the situations in that line is even working with children with autism. It's unreal. In this nutritional line, I put a lot of emphasis on the product called Preventa C. It is formulated to prevent cancer. I take that very faithfully, and it's also the enzymes and things that make your digestion so much more complete also. Another product that has added a lot of good reports to my business is the whole leaf aloe vera. Very, very good product if it's handled right, and it's the pure stuff. I also have had Alpine Air products at this conference for many years. It's still important. It's actually a thunderstorm in a box to breathe clean, fresh air that takes out the toxins, the molds, the mildews, the bacteria, the viruses, the dust, and the smoke, and all that other garbage. And then after the O3 gets done cleaning, why then it converts to oxygen, and we all need more oxygen. We're all oxygen deficient. So there's many, many pluses working with a product like that. Also, I think it's exciting. I'm working with Dr. Fudenberg on a colostrum project. Also involved in that project is the Pope's personal physician. Very many exciting things I hope to report on next year. And lastly, because I work in air quality, I was invited to get involved in a gas detector that tells you if you have excess carbon monoxide in your house or business or a leaking gas. So thank you. Stop at my booth over here and look these things over.
Okay. All right. Have you got notes on all those things? There's one more thing. Danny Hashimoto will be last wherever you are, but I want you to be after this lady that I want people to hear. Now, I told you we're going to squeeze in some things that weren't on the program that are quite appropriate, quite up to the minute, and things that you ought to hear. I want you to hear Carol Ward, 15 minutes on the timer, and then Danny Hashimoto, and then we'll have a little break, and then Helga Morrow. But folks, you need to know Carol Ward's story, and I want to bring her out and let her start from scratch. This is Carol Ward from Colorado Springs.
Am I hooked up? Yes? Am I wired? Okay. One of the things that I've said since the beginning of our ordeal, which started on March 18th of this year, is that I'm not the same person that I was previous to this experience. That I didn't want to know the things that I have learned about my country and my government as of.
Can you hear all right in the back? No, that's what I thought. Let's use that other mic. Her story needs to be heard.
You got your choice. You want this
Well,
one?
here, use this one.
This is fine.
Use that one, too.
Okay. Now can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. I've said since the beginning of our ordeal in March 18th of '93 that I'm not the same person I was before this happened to my family. I'm not even the same person I was before I came to this organization this morning. I recognize that my notes and my prepared text are not worthy of this audience because I've been doing the talk show radio circuits and Rotary clubs. And my prepared text is to try to convince mainstream America that our government has gone crazy. It's prepared to try to establish credibility and to try to convince people that what my family has endured at the hands of one insane Internal Revenue Service agent is somehow unacceptable and that there was no reason for it. And that's a very difficult thing to try to accomplish because even within your own family, there is no reservoir of goodwill when you are subjected to this sort of destruction. Even your closest family members will say, well, what did you do? You must have done something. They caught you at something, right? You can tell me. So without any further preface, let me just ask you that if the comments in my text seem to be beneath the level of consciousness in this audience, it's only because I never dreamt that there were people, like the people in this room, who know that there's something very, very wrong in this world, and specifically in our government. So picture me in front of a Rotary breakfast, trying to talk to businessmen who've had to toe the line and who've had to conform their personality to the particular sick, diseased person that is examining them from the Internal Revenue Service. And they consider this to be normal. And that the consequences for not conforming to the person they're supposed to be in said examination could be economic destruction. They believe that's the way it is, and so they must conform. The following is a synopsis of events wherein a Colorado family found themselves on an IRS hit list. It's an unbecoming portrait of fetid mischief, lies, and requisite cover-up that went all the way to the district director, Gerald Swanson, of the Internal Revenue Service here in Denver. I expect initial skepticism from listeners unaccustomed to such intrigues. My experience with the Internal Revenue Service has forced me to rethink what principles are operational within government today and reflect upon the prospects for our country if the IRS is permitted to continue ransacking America. 4 months ago, I made the foolhardy mistake of provoking an IRS agent. Remember, I was not even under examination. The altercation was the result of what I thought was unethical behavior by a Colorado Springs revenue agent. I challenged her authority, and I threatened to report her to her superiors if she persisted in this conduct. The details of the power struggle are secondary to the story, but provided the motivation for what was to become anyone's worst nightmare. Within 3 weeks of our stormy encounter, the agent crafted a jeopardy assessment of $324,000 against me. A jeopardy assessment is where there's a suspension of constitutional rights. It was written into law for very narrow usage. It was supposed to be ostensibly for drug dealers and money launderers. But what's happened is this machinery has been entrusted to people who now use it routinely to punish taxpayers who are impertinent. They manufacture the evidence to inflict this type of pain on taxpayers. There had been no requests for returns, not an examination, no correspondence, not even a postcard from these people after the initial confrontation. The first I knew I was under investigation was when agents burst into 3 retail stores, 2 of them called Kids Avenue here in Denver, 1 in Colorado Springs, with guns and badges. 3 stores were seized together with bank accounts. My mother's home was levied as well because for estate planning purposes, she had foolishly put my name along with my sister's. We saved our cars by quickly filing what's called a 911 form with problem resolution. It's something they don't tell you about, but if you should ever have a levy, you can file a 911 and it stops all collection action, but they won't tell you about it. You have to find out. The agent had constructed a picture of me which experts now agree was the classic drug profile. This profile enabled her to obtain permission for this jeopardy assessment in which agents sweep down upon criminals without warning, seizing all of their assets. This method of collection is so unusual that there were only 4 times in the entire district of Denver that this was used in 1992. My family was the only case to date in 1993. I've spoken at length with ex-IRS agents now working for an organization called the IRS Whistleblowers. These retired agents from examinations, collections, and the like echo the same warning. If you live next door to an Internal Revenue Service agent and you argue over barking dogs or garbage or kids or bicycles, your economic future is in peril. If you have been dating an IRS agent, and God forbid if you are divorcing an IRS agent, it is a perk of the job that they are allowed to use the machinery. You'll have to excuse me. I still can't. I thought I could do this. It's a perk. It is sport that they are able to destroy their enemies using the machinery of the Internal Revenue Service. This is well known to tax attorneys, accountants. The public at large has no idea this is going on. Insiders all say the same thing, yet the public is ignorant of this agency gone crazy. The notice of levy on me said that I had used phony names and phony social security numbers, all of which has been disproved. With a media gun to their head, 3 months after we lost our appeal, examinations in Denver finally agreed to look at the figures and see perhaps there had been a mistake made here. I have in front of me the abatements that came August the 2nd, official now. I owed the government, they dredged up $3,485 on me over a 4-year period 6 years ago, which I've paid. They still won't return $87,000 worth of retail fixtures, assets, 3 children's stores, home, business bank accounts, everything. You know why? Because I won't sign away my rights to sue. I owe them nothing. They even agree I owe them nothing. And in a conversation with my attorney, Gerald Swanson, the district director of the Internal Revenue Service, said if this cookie wants to play hardball, I'll show her what hardball is. We'll just go back to the original assessments unless she signs that agreement. I said, no. You can rot in hell, Gerald Swanson. As government spending explodes, stronger, more totalitarian methods have been devised for revenue collection. We are told that extraordinary times require extraordinary measures to combat new kinds of criminal activity. And we are assured that suspension of our constitutional rights has become necessary in some cases, pursuant to the loftier goals of a free society. So now the IRS practices economic fascism to finance democracy. I'm a victim of this faulty logic force-fed to a complacent, vulnerable citizenry. The extraordinary measures used against me and my family suspended my constitutional rights for no other reason than to satisfy the appetite of a revenue agent. This was no matter of national security or because we were tax protesters or criminals. This method was employed because the machinery for its use was entrusted to a very ordinary person with extraordinary weaknesses. And she used the full force of the United States government in an act of pure vengeance. And instead of them looking at this and saying, well, my goodness, we've made a mistake here, it was necessary to destroy the victim because the reputation of the service was more important for the loftier goal of revenue collection. The fear is that without poster children like Leona Helmsley and without the extraordinary powers for the purges such as my family endured, revenue collection would somehow screech to a halt because they're so afraid that the average American is so alienated from the system that they have to have fear, and fear is the only thing that works. The president couldn't have done to me what this woman did to me because he's under too much scrutiny. And scrutiny is the thing that I've learned through the appeals process, problem resolution, letter writing, the Inspector General of the Treasury, trying to enlist the help of elected representatives. There's no self-scrutiny within the IRS. Nobody knows how to control these people. I go to my elected representatives, Pat Schroeder, Hank Brown, Ben Nighthorse Campbell, Scott McGinnis, my mother's representative in Pueblo, Joel Heffley, that worthless, expletive deleted, has not done they themselves don't want to do anything. I said, this is your pit bull. He's loose in the neighborhood and he's killing people, women and children. What are you going to do? And their response is, gosh, did we leave that gate open again? That's it. They were shamed into helping me. And the representation that we're getting now from the congressional and Senate offices that is asking for a full investigation by the Inspector General of the Treasury of our case is only because they were shamed into it. The common denominator here is that every one of our elected representatives fears this agency themselves, and they will not risk political capital trying to defend a constituent. In our case, I was screaming from the rafters. I used the media against representatives. I used the representatives against one another in a bipartisan war. I did everything I could. I became a street fighter, and that's the only reason I survived. 3 generations of my family are bankrupt. We are destitute. And we're told that we have a great case, but every time I talk to an attorney about it, they say, God, this is a slam dunk. These bastards really blew it, didn't they? But they all want me to settle out of court so they can make a name for themselves. They don't want to have, I want this to be case law. I want this to be Carol Ward versus the Internal Revenue Service, and I want it to go to court. And they all say, no, it'll never go to court. They will never let this see the light of day. So I'm even at cross purposes with the men who are trying to help me, ostensibly. They say they want to help, but they want to have a quick, high-profile case against the IRS wherein they make some quick change and the whole thing gets buried. I want this to be front page center, and not for me, but for you. Because what happened to me, this is your ox being gored, not mine. I was last month's sacrificial lamb. But now my eyes, like I said in the beginning, I don't want to be the person I am today. See, I was not any fringe member of society. I was a Republican in the 60s. I'm 46. I wasn't burning, I wasn't taking drugs. I wasn't protesting the war in the 60s. I was working my buns off for Coca-Cola. I bought the whole 9 yards. This doesn't happen to people like me. I'm no wacko. I'm no tax protester. I am mainstream America who did nothing wrong but talk back to a public servant with the emphasis on servant. And this woman did what she could to destroy me, and her bosses all the way up to the regional commissioner chose to cover up her act of vengeance and throw me overboard rather than to bring it to the attention of the American people. And that's why I'm here in front of you today. I've been doing radio programs, and I've been called by Inside Edition and some news magazines, and you'd be surprised how often the producers of these magazines, they call me and they're fascinated with this story, and all of a sudden they back off. Because everybody is fearful of retribution, except me. Because there is no one more dangerous than he who has nothing left to lose. My life is over. And so is theirs, because I will spend the rest of my life exposing this vicious group of people to as many people as I can get to listen to me, because I have the proof. There wasn't anything there. There's no record of correspondence to me previous to the day I told this woman off. There's nothing but a long, long line. I'm sorry. I get crazy. There's nothing but lies and cover-up. And if you'll do what you can to help me, anyone you know within the media, tell them to contact me. Thank you.
Okay, here's Danny. Thanks, Carol. Here's Danny Hashimoto with a few minutes of what can be done about it.
Thank you, Dean. Aloha, everyone. It's good to be here, a little long way from the beach, but in fact, I'm glad to hear you're planning the next one in Virginia Beach. I'll definitely be there. I like beaches. In any event, I want to really applaud Carol there for her courage. This is the kind of courage and perseverance we all need. I do a lot of different things. Primarily, I'm a freedom fighter. I've been a tax consultant, helping people with not only the income tax angle, but also with the estate planning side of it too. Personally, I don't even file. I quit filing in 1979. The IRS never asked me for the money, even though I owed them hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes, just for a 3-year period of time. I did make a few bucks back then. But they never asked for the money. Instead, because I was doing what I'm doing right now, they tried to put me in jail. They lost. Some people win, some people lose. Thank God that I was able to pull through, going through the gauntlet. Nevertheless, I'm with a national organization, and our goal, of course, as Jan mentioned, is to not only abolish the IRS, but abolish the Federal Reserve Bank also. That's all part of the program. Okay. you'll be hearing from some speakers throughout the conference who are very knowledgeable in this area. Eustace Mullins, for one. Eustace has been to Hawaii many times. There's tremendous volumes of information that will be available to you. Our organization gives out a home study program. We also travel. I'm one of the traveling minstrels out there singing the Song of Freedom. And in fact, I'll be doing seminars here in Colorado, where I'm now based temporarily. The title of the seminar is the NCBA Zero Tax Seminar and Exposing the New World Order, the New World Disorder, I should say. And so I'll be doing these seminars next week, Tuesday in Longmont, Wednesday in Fort Collins. And then I'll be off to Hawaii and then back to the East Coast and just bouncing around. So if those of you would like to hear a little bit more, come visit me at the table back there and I'll give you some ideas on what you can do either way. Either being in the system, we have ways of helping you setting up trusts or different types of entities. There's even the offshore banking programs available. And on the other side of the picture, for those of you who are in a position to just walk away from this corrupt system, we, of course, can greatly support you in that area. But there's different solutions, different approaches for individuals here. No one can do it exactly the same way, and this is what we specialize in. In the seminars, we're very solution-oriented. We've got a list of at least 3 dozen different aspects you can get involved with. Some, of course, is dealing with the barter programs. That's what we're called, the National Commodity and Barter Association. Dealing with gold and silver coins, we show you how to acquire them. We show you different mediums of barter. Well, I won't go through all the examples now, but come by and talk with me. I've got a lot of free literature that you can take with you. And again, if you're looking for a speaker to come and speak to a group or any type of a function, I'd be glad to oblige. Just give me a call here in Colorado.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Danny. All right, 7-minute break, then we get ready for Helga Morrow. You're going to see some other interesting things. We're going to get set up for her, and then we're going to go right away. 7 minutes, be back.